So when we talk about quality, it's not just about how it looks visually, but also the processes behind it.
It also matters what is the overlay material on.
One tip that I can share with you is if you're using wood grain laminate, then always clean along the grain direction.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining us in our coffee talk with DIC. You're in for a treat for today. Do you know that beautiful spaces start with beautiful materials? EDL, other than being the specialist in high pressure laminates with high quality, EDL also understands the emotional connection between designers and creation. And we do have 4 topics for today. The first one, how to achieve the realistic look of each laminate patterns and designs. Second, how is laminate compared to veneer? Thirdly, how to differentiate the quality. Last but not least is how to maintain these laminates. And I can't wait to introduce you my guests for today. Let me welcome Daphne and Desiree.
Hi P, thanks for having us today and welcome to the new EDL gallery.
Daphne, this is really beautiful. The show is super nice. I'm so honored to be here.
Thank you so much.
Come now to my first question. How do you actually achieve the realistic look and pattern and design of each laminates?
To us, what makes a laminate realistic is actually the perfect marriage of the look and the feel, right? The look actually is the decor paper. Decor paper is actually the print that you see on the laminate here, right? And it needs to be further enhanced by giving it the correct texture, which is the feel of the laminate, right? So this texture is achieved through the use of press plates. So press plates are actually available in many different types. It's available in highly textured ones to very light ones, and also mainly is meant to mimic textures of real materials. For example, say wood grain here. Actually for wood grains, we do have a lot of variety of finishes. It depends on your usage as well as your lifestyle. We have wood grains that are very highly textured to very light ones. And also we have finishes that mimic stones and marbles, and also to the softness of say like a fabric design. So I think the goal here is really to find the best match between the paper as well as the plate. If you have one and not the other, then it will not be the best outcome. So actually at EDL, we work very closely with our suppliers to create the most realistic products. And because we work with a few suppliers, we do actually have one of the largest variety of finishes in the market.
Wow, it sounds so cool. But actually the realistic look, right? How is it being done?
Yeah, it's actually a high pressure application to the laminate. Yeah, it's a process, it's a technology, and it is to create this texture that you see and you feel in the laminate.
So moving on, the second question. Actually, how is laminate compared to veneer?
Okay, I think laminates have come a very long way.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So generally in the past, people have this perception that laminate look a bit fake. Right? And people like to use veneer a lot because afterwards it's a real material, right? So, but I think the industry has evolved over time and laminates are looking more and more like the real thing, right? And I think for us, we're seeing a lot of our laminates being used in a lot of high-end hospitality projects, not just because of its aesthetics, but also for its functionality, right? So back to your question on laminate versus veneer, right? Laminates actually is very durable. It's highly resistant to say heat, moisture, stains and scratches, much more than veneer. So it makes it very good as a material to be used in those high traffic areas as compared to veneer. So secondly, also laminates is available in so many different type of choices, right? From solid colors to wood grains to say stones and also metal. Yeah, but after all, veneers are like real materials. It's only limited to mostly wood grains and its corresponding shades. Yeah, and lastly, laminates definitely is the most cost-effective option as compared to veneer.
What's the difference of the price-wise?
I think laminate generally is very competitive. I think, and laminates can be applied almost immediately. So we go by sheets. I think in terms of interior design, you guys charge by per foot run with the laminates included, right? So for veneer, I think it depends because it also depends on the grades of veneer as well as whether you need additional processes like, polishing and staining and so on and so forth.
Right. Okay. Nice one. Thank you so much. So the third question will be how to differentiate the qualities.
So there are 2 things that differentiate the quality of a laminate. The first thing would be the quality of the raw materials itself. So like Daphne mentioned just now, there are things like decor paper. There are also things like craft paper.
Right.
Okay, so craft paper is what you see at the back of the laminate. This is the craft paper.
Okay.
Okay. The second thing that differentiates the quality of the laminate would be the technology that goes into the production of the laminate. Because just now, as we mentioned, there are a lot of processes that go into the production, right? It's a very technical product.
Yes.
And yeah, it requires a lot of skills and knowledge when it comes to production. So when we talk about quality, it's not just about how it looks visually, but also the processes behind it. So it's almost like cooking a dish. So in order to make a good dish, you need good quality ingredients,
Yes.
and you need a good chef. Yeah.
Okay.
So at EDL, we handpick the suppliers that we work with, and they come mostly from countries like Europe and Japan, to name a few. And they have the technology and the know-how to create materials that help solve market needs. So I'll give you an example. So here we have a color core laminate.
Okay.
And color core laminate means that it has a homogeneous core and backing. So if you see the surface is white, the back is also white. Okay. So color core laminates are used to solve the problem of unsightly black joint lines that you will see when you use normal laminates because of the brown craft paper at the back. So, but because of the composition of color core laminates, it tends to have a reputation of being more brittle as compared to normal laminates. And to solve this problem, we work with our Japanese supplier. They have this patented technology called Melavio, and they actually created a color core range for us that boasts flexibility and workability while retaining that beautiful white core, color core that you see. So the end result is an enhanced user experience while achieving seamless joints all around. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I think it's a lot about having good partners that have the expertise, that can help us to actualize and create these products that solve market needs. And ultimately is to make it possible to achieve good quality outcomes when you use our materials.
Right. If we talk about quality, right, I have a question. I'm very curious. You know, nowadays, client they may want to save some cost on reno, right? They will ask, I want to overlay my cabinet with laminate. Is it doable or advisable?
It's actually not advisable to overlay laminate because you're talking about longevity, it may not be that lasting as compared to, you apply a laminate to a substrate brand new. It also matters what is the overlay material on. So it may also not adhere that well to the glue. So actually, we do not recommend doing that overlay. Yeah.
Okay, so not possible, right? It's best to maybe just change the doors and the cuckles.
Yeah, and it can last for a very long time if you maintain it well, actually.
Yes. Okay, so my last question is how to maintain these beautiful laminates.
So laminates are made to last for a very long time if they are
Yes.
maintained well,
Yeah.
and they are generally very easy to clean. There's no need for any special maintenance. Cleaning can be done with just soft cloth and water. And if you use detergent, then use something that is pH neutral. So I would recommend that you do not use cloths or sponges that are abrasive, and don't use harsh chemicals as it might damage the laminate surface.
Right.
Yeah. One tip that I can share with you is if you're using wood grain laminate,
Yes.
then always clean along the grain direction. Yeah. Don't clean it in a circular motion
You
or
can see
haphazard
that.
motion.
Yeah.
And also, I would suggest that you select your laminates according to your lifestyle and the different spaces in your house. So if, for example, if you are someone who cooks regularly and you want easy maintenance in the kitchen, then choose something that is less textured so that it doesn't trap dirt so easily. If there are areas in your home that have high touch points, then maybe you can consider an anti-fingerprint laminate.
Okay.
Yeah. So at EDL, we have an anti-fingerprint range called Aptico, and it's from Europe. So it's a solid color matte anti-fingerprint range.
Okay.
So overall, I would say that laminates are very lifestyle driven. And at the point of selection, if you make the right choice, then it will save you a lot of time and effort when it comes to maintenance down the road.
Wow, so well said. I learned so much. Thank you so much, ladies. Thank
you. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for today. Okay, that's the end of today's episode. See you guys. Bye-bye.